Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to start going over the engine swap. I know it's been a while since we've had anything new up on the channel. We haven't really done anything to the race car since last October, November, September. I don't know. Road America last year for Lemons. Anyway, it is the end of January 2026. And the Road America race is coming up early this year in May. So we've got a few months to get this new engine put together, and we're going to show you where we're at. So as of right now, we got the old 4.8 ripped out of there. And at the last race, she was making a little noise. She was making some ticky sounds under heavy braking and around high G corners. Enough so that I was concerned about longevity and internals becoming external parts and things like that. So made the executive decision to yoink that. And now we have this lovely LC9 5.3 aluminum block that is going to go into the car. So I've got that mostly ripped down. Everything looks pretty good inside. Cylinders are decent. There's a couple that have some very, very minor rust pitting up at the tops, probably above the ringlands in the combustion area. So I don't think it's going to be an issue, but we'll get those honed out and we should be all set. Most of the parts are either here or on the way. I just have to measure for bearings and then I can get those ordered. And then here's the old 4.8. So I don't know what was causing the noise. So far, everything I've looked at still looks good. This had a solid bronze trunnion upgrade in it. And I don't see anything wrong with any of those. Potentially, you know, maybe lifters. Could have been lifters. Oil starving around corners or under heavy braking. So maybe we were starting to have an oiling issue somewhere. But even the inside of the front cover was clean. I didn't see any evidence of lack of oil pressure. Timing chain guides look okay. So who knows? Who knows what was going on? The bottom end looked fine. You know, without completely tearing it all apart, getting the heads off and the rotating assembly out, inspecting all that, you know, a quick glance like this isn't probably going to tell you much unless you've got a, you know, a ventilated cylinder or something like that. So moving on from that, at this point, I'm just going to throw the valve covers back on, throw an oil pan on there just to keep it kind of sealed up, and it is going to go into its new home, the engine storage area. So where are we at right now? Now we're kind of at the stage where we're figuring out new parts, what's going to fit, what's not going to fit. This is the old oil pan I had on there. This is a Canton road race oil pan for LS motors. Worked fine. Didn't really have any issues with it. The only issue I really had was right here. The oil pan you can see was hitting on the, let's see here. Where the heck was it? That would have been over here, I believe. Somewhere over here, it was hitting on the power steering rack and pinion there. So ultimately what I ended up doing was putting a couple of washers under the motor mount between the block and the motor mount to raise that side ever so slightly and give the clearance I need. I was hoping this pan was going to be a little shallower, but they are the same there. Down at the back where the sump is, the new Kevco pan is shallower, but it's also longer. So hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. But I just wanted to do a quick side-by-side with these. Number one, something I really like, the Canton, I always had an oil leak somewhere, and I don't really know where it was coming from. The Canton mount rail is just a single piece of sheet metal. It's stamped. It's not super thick. And who knows, maybe there was just enough warpage there that it wasn't getting the proper seal. Hard to say. I don't know. The Kevco has this nice secondary heavy piece of steel under the mount rail as a reinforcement, which I really dig that. in previous videos, way back when I put the LS in the Crown Vic initially, I went over kind of a side-by-side between this and a stock pan. There was some issues with this that I wasn't a big fan of, not functionally, but just in terms of fit and finish. And you can see kind of like that hole is, I mean, I don't know, cut out by a drunk Irishman or something. But like the welds in there were sloppy, things like that. The Kevco is much cleaner, but you can kind of see side by side there of how things look. The trapdoor setup is essentially the same. It's a diamond configuration. You got the little trapdoors inside there. That works great. So yeah, it's we'll see if this one fits. I hope it does, because I definitely prefer the Kevco. And the only thing I kind of don't like about it is the dipstick tube is on the driver's side, so that may or may not be a bit of an issue. And then the drain is over on the passenger side, unlike the Canton one, which was on the driver's side. That was definitely a pain to get to just because of the trans lines and stuff I had. So that will be way more out of the way. So yeah, they've got pluses and minuses each one, but I'm hoping the Kevco will fit and work properly, and I can stop using this one. Let's see here, what else? Oh yeah, crank scraper. So I made a quick little video yesterday regarding this crank scraper. So this is how it sits in the engine, and you see all these notches and fingers and whatnot, okay? Like these little guys I was always worried about from the get-go, and as it turns out, we lost one. At some point, somewhere, we lost one of the little fingers that rides next to the crankshaft as it comes up and spins around. It either caught it or it just wore through enough and it broke off, and I couldn't find it. I ran a magnet through here, through the pan, couldn't find it. I don't see any evidence of it, you know, crashing around inside the engine. So maybe if I ever do pull the crank, I'll find some evidence of that, but as of right now, I have no idea where that went. We will also reuse this windage tray. That's a Canton piece as well. I had to get that to use it with this pan because the stock one would not fit with that pan. Here are the pickups. Those are slightly different also. So there is, I'll put them side by side here. So this is the Canton pickup and this is the Kevco pickup. You know, they're both rectangulars. They're rectangular in shape. They're just turned different ways. The Canton has this little jog in the tube. So we're going to see if that's going to be a problem with the Kevco one or not. I don't think it will, because actually this caused some interference issues on the block, and it was really tight in there. So maybe this one will fit a little better. Again, test fit, and see what's what. We'll reuse that off the oil pan. I already pulled the stainless exhaust studs out of the old engine, pulled some of the old sensors off because most of them are new or really pretty new. And yeah, so waiting on a new timing gear, or cam timing gear, because the new camshaft is a 3-bolt. This is a single bolt. Oh gosh, what else? Power steering pump bracket. Because this is a Corvette bracket, it requires a different bracket, or Corvette power steering pump requires a specific bracket to get it to work on this engine. And I needed the spacing to be correct as well. So I used to have the truck spacing. I'm switching it over to the F-body spacing. So we'll get rid of the truck water pump. I got the correct hardware for this bracket from ICT Billet, and that will allow us to get the power steering pump at the correct spacing. The radiator will go back in, And because I'm doing the F-body spacing, I actually ordered regular F-body hoses. So those should work now. We got our LS7 lifters. We got the CHE trunnion upgrade for the new engine. And let's see here, oil pump. We got this is for, or that's the harmonic balancer, and that also is an F-body spacing one. So I'll take care of that portion of it. There's the new water pump. We got lifter trays. Where is, oh yeah, camshaft is in the box, but this is all the stuff that's either going back on or needs to be test fit. Push rods were about 70%. I've got some of them that have, let's see here, find a bad one. I've got some of them, yeah, that one's light. So if you look at the tip there, if it will focus, come on. You can see that rust pitting. And there's worse ones than this. So most of them were okay, but I had probably 4 of them that were in pretty rough shape. Reuse a solid motor mount, and probably use that newer starter that came on the 5.3. But yeah, so we got some things to do. And that is kind of where we're at right now. Let's see here. What else are we going to do? We got to... This is all pretty much going to stay the same. I'm thinking with all of this stuff off and the radiator out, I might take another stab at sealing up around the radiator here. This worked so-so, but it wasn't really sealed up. So I think I'm going to take another shot at doing better on that. And let's see here. We're going to make the engine bay match the outside, because why not? This is the time to do it, right? And oh yeah, the brake master cylinders. So we also had an issue with that at the last race, where when I would step on the brakes, the brake pedal inside, you know, it's a lever, and it had enough leverage where it was flexing the firewall, and it would lift up the master cylinders and push the reservoir up against the firewall, and it would just ever so slightly separate the reservoir from the master cylinder, enough so that it would suck air or leak enough to where the fluid was down and it would cause braking issues. So that was an eye-opener as well. So I need to reinforce that. I will do that on the inside and make a bracket in there so it can't do that anymore. What else? I think that's the big stuff. Those are the critical issues. Everything else is pretty much okay and will be left alone. So yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we got. Let's see here. Oh, here you can see there's a little bit of that rust on the cylinder wall there. So this was the worst side. And again, I'll run a 3-stone hone through there to clean that up and make sure we don't have any other issues. But otherwise, everything looks decent. Looks like it should be in good shape. Got new bearings will be coming along here, and I'm gonna get us a new engine. So it should be fun. It'll give us a bump over this one power-wise, and a weight loss. I mean, we should drop around 100 pounds by going to the aluminum block. So I will, I'll probably weigh these too, just to get an idea of, you know, exactly how much weight is being lost. I should be able to get a very close to apples comparison in terms of, like, you know, I'll weigh them, probably the long blocks, and you know, I'll have an oil pan on each one. I will leave the intake and stuff off, obviously, but we'll have heads on and all that, and we'll see what we got weight-wise. That'll be an interesting comparison, I think. So, well, thanks guys for watching, tuning in, and thank you so very much to all the subscribers, because we just hit 400 here the other day. So that was pretty cool. You know, not big numbers like some of those other creators, but like I said before, I'm just some dude in his garage pretending to know what the hell he's doing. So I appreciate it. And please stay tuned and check in for the next one. Thanks.